Jonesy Bays and Anonymous Jonesy Bays. Welcome back to my channel. Listen, so I'm going through these letters that these women were writing to the judge and everything, and I'm just reading everything. I'm like, these people are insane. But it was one that really, it's a few that really like grabbed my attention. But this one, from this particular person, I'm not going to put her name out there, but you know, she's not even from here. She's not from America. Okay. And she said whatever she's saying in this letter is facts and not speculation, honey. And she's saying that she pointing out all the discrepancies. So let's go ahead and talk about it, because I'm sitting here looking like, girl, you've been following this case for several weeks and you got everything down pat. I don't understand. I don't think so. But anyway, they are pleading for this man's life, and I don't understand why. I just don't understand it. Wade, you know, he's responsible for two people that's not here anymore. He's responsible for two people that's not here anymore. And he confessed. He's selling those phone calls. Like, what more do you want? How is he innocent? How? But anyway, let's continue. She said, I have been following and researching the Wade Stephen Wilson's case for several weeks now. I'm going to just redact that, and my English is not perfect, but I hope you can still understand me. Okay? I'm sure I know who's really behind the murders. I am shocked that as judges, you do not notice the obvious discrepancies and convict a man who is clearly innocent. I am aware that you have probably received many letters in the past few weeks, but I will now list some of the discrepancies and connections from the witnesses in the hope that you will reconsider your judgment. It should be in the interest of the victims and survivors to find the real perpetrator and not to convict a man who has been framed by the witnesses and the judiciary. My discrepancies and lists are facts and not speculation. Hopefully, you have already learned that all the witnesses in this case have previous convictions for drugs, assault, fraud, and strangulation. Oh, who is she talking about? Okay. Number one, she said, it is said in the trial that Wade Wilson unlocked Christine Melton's cell phone using Face ID with Christine's unalived face. You cannot unlock an iPhone using Face ID if the person has their eyes closed. The phone will only unlock if you hold your face clearly in front of it when your eyes are open. An iPhone unlocks itself after a few minutes, which means Wade Wilson must have known the code to unlock it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to use the cell phone for the rest of the day. Christine Melton must have still been alive when Wade Wilson left her house. Number two, it is alleged that Wade Wilson wanted to put the body in the trunk, but the victim's body was too heavy to transport. It makes no difference to the weight of a body whether it already has rigor mortis or not. The corpse was rolled up in clothes, so it made no difference whether the corpse was stiff or soft. The real perpetrator intentionally left the body in the house so that it would be quickly found by the police and linked to Wade Wilson. Jason Shepard emphasized in his testimony that he took his own cocaine. Now, what kind of drugs did Jason give to Mr. Wilson? According to the statement, these were not clean drugs. Jason Shepard didn't open the door when Mr. Wilson rang the bell to get his cell phone back. Jason Shepard states that he heard the bell and he also knew that Wade rang the bell to get his cell phone back. Now, Jason Shepard is said to be driving the Dodge Hellcat on Sunbury Drive. Why is the car found a day later at Edison Bar? Number four, Melissa Montanez says Wade Wilson attacked her. Her nose exploded and there was blood everywhere. Why was no blood from the victims found on Wade Wilson when her nose literally exploded? Diane Ruiz. wouldn't have gotten in the car with Wade Wilson if he was covered in blood. Benson's witnesses say the attack on Montanez happened at 7:30 a.m. Montanez says she didn't see Wade Wilson's calls and messages until 8 a.m. because she was asleep beforehand. Amy tells police that Melissa met someone at the Buddha bar and spent the night there. In the trial, she began saying that Melissa spent the night on the sofa at her house. Now, according to the doctor, Christine Melton was found to have severe head injuries under the scalp. Why didn't the police seize a murder weapon in Christine Melton's house? Why wasn't the clothing with which Melton was rolled up and checked to see if there was actually Melton's clothes? Wade Wilson's DNA was found on the curtain rod, which means why exactly was the curtain rod rolled up with the victim's clothing? This is a clear sign that the real perpetrator wanted to draw attention to Wilson and present the victim, including DNA, through the curtain rod directly to the police. If the curtain rod had not been rolled up directly with the victim, the police would not have found Wilson's DNA. Now, this is what she's saying, honey. She got everything typed out, all of that. Number 6, Melissa says she can't remember where she met Wade Wilson. Every woman on this earth can remember the place and or date when she met her partner. Melissa and Joshua have known each other for a very long time. They have a photo together on Melissa's Facebook profile from February 14th, 2019. Joshua knew about the attack on Melissa at Mila's Spa even before Wade Wilson arrived at Mateo's Graphics. I will explain to you in the letter for Wade what the witnesses all have to do with each other. Stephen Testaseca has a lot of debt. You can easily research it on the internet. Why should a father testify against his own son if there is no money in the game? Why did Stephen's wife not directly let the police listen to Wade Wilson's alleged confession on the phone, but only wrote messages to the police? Stephen emphasizes in the statement that Wade Wilson is a good storyteller to convince the jury that Wade Wilson cannot be believed. Stephen was deliberately chosen as a witness in order to bring a credible witness to the trial. I mean, no father would testify against his son if the actions weren't true. Number 8. Diane Ruiz's wallet was intentionally placed at the school as bait. If Wade Wilson had really been covered in blood, Diane wouldn't have gotten into the car with him. Wade Wilson allegedly I guess she means choked, okay? Allegedly choked Diane during the ride. When a woman fights for her life, she defends herself with all her might. Wade Wilson would no longer have been able to drive the Nissan without an accident, or would have had unusual driving style that would have been seen by witnesses. So I guess what she's trying to say is when Wade was choking Diane, right, she would have been fighting with her hands and the car would have been swerving. That's what she's saying. I guess, child, I guess. Since it was in the middle of the city in the morning, the property where Diane was found was uneven. You should have seen blood, clothing, skin, or hair on the underside of the Nissan. Police did not examine the underside, although, according to witness statements, Wilson drove over Diane's body 10 to 20 times. Number 9, Patrick saw the Nissan at the location at 12 p.m. or later. At 12 p.m., Wilson is recorded by the camera at Mateo's Graphic. Patrick could not identify a driver. These are just a few discrepancies in the whole case. I have many more. If you would like to have these, please contact me by email. Then I will send you any further discrepancies. The witnesses in this murder case all connect to each other and all are criminals. And here she go. She said Joshua and Melissa, known each other for a long time, both are connected to Mila's husband, Lorenzo. Lorenzo is a convicted and registered ex-offender. You can also see this on the internet at jacksonville.com. There he is listed under ex-offenders near North Nicholas High School in Cape Coral. It wasn't a coincidence that Jason Shepard connected with Wade Wilson at the Buddha Bar has recorded. Wade Wilson was trapped from that point in the Buddha Bar, and he was lured. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Joshua's wife was charged with driving under the influence in 2022, and now guess who her lawyer is? Hanukkah Daniel, Lee Hollander's partner. That's also why Wade Wilson's defense attorneys don't make any effort to represent him. Wade Wilson was right in the interview with NBC2. Mila Spot is used for, human trafficking, drugs, and sexual favors. Please read carefully the letter to Wade Wilson that I sent to you. I explain everything in detail and with evidence. Don't do this for my sake, but for the victims and their families. I expect you to reconsider this case with my evidence by August 27, 2024. All evidence I present here is solid evidence and not circumstantial. The trial and the witness statements will only, I don't know what she's trying to say here. I guess she's trying to say incidental. I don't know what she's trying to say. But anyway, honey, homegirl said, I expect you to consider this case with my evidence by August 27, 2024. Now, who does she think she is? Who does this woman think she is? And you're talking to a judge? Excuse me? So basically, she's saying that Wade Wilson was trapped from that point at the Buddha Bar. He was lured. So she's making it seem like they had this all planned to stick him with these murders. He was set up. He was trapped. According to her. Okay? According to her. And then this whole long thing, I don't even know what it has to do with this case, but it is talking about Mila's husband, Lorenzo. And somebody a couple of days ago told me that I should look into Lorenzo, Mila's husband. And I started to, but I didn't continue doing it because my mind got sidetracked. So, yeah. This is insane. This is crazy. Wow. So, this is just one letter. This is just one of the letters that these crazy women are writing, and they are saying a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff. They are saying a lot of stuff. They are telling the judge, you need to reconsider. This is his life here. Okay, you're writing this for him. What about the victims? Listen, I'm for the victims, honey. I am for Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz. I am for the victims. We already know what he has done. We already know that. But I guess they don't want him to get the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? They want the judge to sit there and reconsider, do not give him the death penalty and all this kind of stuff. And it's so scary. It's so scary that these women who don't even know him from a can of paint, from a hole in the wall, they don't know him at all. They only talking like this and supporting him because of his looks. I don't understand it. I really don't. And I guess that's something I would never understand, why people go through all of this. Why people go through all this with people they don't even know. But yet, if it was somebody in their family that he did this to, would they be singing the same tune? No, they would not. No, they would not. Well, anyway, and then here she got pictures of Mila and these people on Facebook, and it says here Lorenzo, I think his name is Del Vecchio, release subject to registration at some address. He's an offender. And he had something with a minor victim. Child. I mean, she sent all. I'm pretty sure the judge probably know what's going on and who he is. She's sending like a lot of documents with Joshua's wife on here. Just people that's connected to Mila in this case, and Wade is being set up. So here is a letter that I guess she wrote to Wade. Wade, listen carefully. Hey Wade, it's me. I don't speak English very well, but I hope you still understand me. I need to know where you met Melissa. Can you explain this to me? I know that you are innocent. I watched all the negotiations on Law and Order and spent nights researching to prove your innocence. So she's watched Law and Order, honey, and this makes her certified. Okay. You immediately notice that something is wrong with the case. I also wrote to your lawyer, Mr. Lee Hollander, but he ignores me. I wonder why. First, I'll write to you about all the discrepancies and then the evidence that all the witnesses are in cahoots. I know from social media that many women write to you because you are beautiful, but I'm not like the other women. I really want to save your life. And even though I'm, not from America, I don't care about your SWAT stickers because this is about you and not about your tattoos. Now, I'm going to say, she said, I don't care about your SWAT stickers because this is about you and not about your tattoos. But she's German, okay? I'm just going to leave that there. She's German. So she's going list by list, what happened with him when he was with Christine, as if she was there. She's talking about Melissa Martinez. She said Melissa knew that you wanted to go with Jason. That's why she said during the interrogation that she didn't want to go with strangers. So Melissa knew that you were staying with Jason for the night. Mila doesn't know where you met. Every woman knows where she met her partner or when they met. She deliberately doesn't say it. I'll tell you why. If Mila's nose exploded and there was blood everywhere, why wasn't there blood found on you? Mila and Joshua knew each other. She has a photo together on Facebook from February 14, 2019. Benson's witness said the attack to Mila at 7:30 a.m. Mila said she slept until 8 o'clock a.m. and then saw your calls and messages. Amy says in her interview with the police, she did cocaine and met someone at the bar and spent the night there. I tried to contact her several times in the morning hours, but she was unavailable. Why are you contacting people, lady? What's wrong with you? At 8 a.m., she called me back on October 7th. Now, in the trial, Amy says that Mila spent the night on the sofa with her. That's a lie. So, wait a minute. I'm stuck at, I tried to contact her several times in the morning hours, but she was unavailable. At 8 a.m., she called me back. Wow. Joshua knew about the attack on Mila and Mila's spa before you were at Mateo Graphics. Someone called him and told him what was happening. Once again, proof that all accomplices were in contact with each other on the day of the crimes. They all kept each other updated so that their plan would work. There is no blood visible in the footage from Mateo's graphics surveillance camera. Well, how can you even see it? I saw that video. You can see him walking with no shirt and shoes on, but it's still kind of blurry, so you're not going to see everything. I don't think you can see any tattoos on you either. Was that even you? You are being forced into silence. I know that. And you received your first threat when your parents' house burnt down. That was a message to you to keep your mouth shut. Who forced you to give a statement to the police? I know you're under pressure, but I can help you solve this case. All the witnesses think they're smart, but I'm smarter. Okay, this is giving obsessed. Okay, this is giving obsessed. So then she talks about his father. Your father is very nervous about this statement. He says, ma'am, all the time and keeps grabbing at his legs. I'm sorry to say this, but your father sold you for that money. What money? So you trying to say that his father got on the stand because somebody paid him? What money? Anyway, he has debts, which you can easily research on the internet. I know that your father and your father's wife have a criminal record. Your father's wife reported him for battery, touch, or strike. Why does your father emphasize that you are a good storyteller? Even though a police officer called him before and said they were looking for you, your father still said you were a storyteller. And I also know why. Because of your mental illness, everyone calls you crazy. That's why your father says storyteller, so that the jury knows that that they can't believe anything you say because you're crazy. I also have panic attacks and anxiety disorder, but that doesn't mean we're crazy. Okay, so she's talking about the victims and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that with that because obviously she thinks she know everything. Okay. Wow. And then she talks about Patrick. Now, Patrick says he saw the Nissan on the property at 12 p.m. or later. And that Diane started work on October 7th, 2019 at 9:30. So that means that Diane must have been in the car with you for a full 3 hours. That makes absolutely no sense. Patrick didn't want it to take a long straight away. What was going on the property, but forgot. Plus, Patrick couldn't see who drove the car. Wait, where were you really in that time frame? But why is she asking him where was he in that time frame? You know it all, so maybe you should know. You should know where he at. You should know where he's at. Then you think since you know it all, they grabbed you. That's right, and told you what to say to your father on the phone. Am I right? You hurt your teeth there too. Who did this to you among the perpetrators? I know your confession wasn't real to the police. I heard it and it was way too dramatic. You tried to convince the police that you committed the murders. That's why it's important to you to sell the story as best as possible. This lady is something else. Something else. And you know what? There are more letters like this. So basically, she's saying that he's being framed, and she knows he's being framed, and everything that she's saying is top dollar. Okay? Anyway, that's what I want to share with you guys. Listen, I don't even know what to say. You see me stumbling. I don't know what to say. Wow, these people are really insane. Really insane. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I just want to read some of this to you because it's It's weird, man. It's weird. This lady thinks she knows everything. She thinks everything that she's saying in this letter, that the judge needs to listen to it, because what she's saying is top information. It's not wrong. Everything is facts. She's not speculating. Wow. So before I hang up from you guys, I'm going to read this. She said, all of these texts were written by different people. Unfortunately, I don't know yet what happened in this bar in 2017, but I found out too. That's why it's so important that I want to know how you met Mila. Mila and Lorenzo have been together since 2014, and now they're married. Mila got the Dodge Hellcat from Glenn Buscemi. Why does Buscemi give Mila a car worth $80,000? And then she's saying, listen, it gets worse. And that's when she goes on to say that Joshua's wife, was charged with driving under the influence in 2022, and that her lawyer is Hanukkah Daniel, and that's Lee Hollander's partner. And that's why they're not trying to defend him in court. They're not trying to work hard for him. And that his father, is in debt. And that's why he's, talking and speaking out, because it's all about the money. Lord have mercy. We're just going to call her, what's a good name to call this lady? The out of the country wife, crazy wife, because this is insane. Wow, this is insane, guys. This is really insane. Wow. We're going to name her Judy. Yeah, we're going to name her Judy. Let's name her Judy. That's her little nickname. We're going to name her Judy. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this? And I'm reading it as just the way she typed it. So I'm reading it with typos and everything, okay? That's how she typed it. That's how I was reading it. But this is interesting. These people are crazy. I'll talk to you guys later.